Yeah, GCSE Results Day is a nerve-wracking experience for students after months of anxious waiting over the summer, and it is here today. How they done? Do tell me. Spread the celebration with me, won't you? Have they got the grades they need for what they want to do next? What happens if they haven't? Those questions will be faced by parents at this very moment across Herefordshire and Worcestershire as the results start to filter in. And it adds a bit of pressure to the day, I suppose. Let's go out and about, shall we? Our Radio Car reporter, Isabel Kimbry, is at Earl, Mortimer College and Sixth Form Centre in Leominster today. She's with the principal, Alison Banner, and the assistant principal, Julian Warham. She asked them all, did our Izzy, how are you feeling?
Very, very excited to see all of our students back this morning to collect what is an excellent set of GCSE results. Yesterday, when the results came into the school, there was so much excitement here, and we are so pleased with all of their achievements.
Julian, I'll come to you. I mean, how have you prepared these students? I mean, they've had a bit of instability, a bit of disruption over the last couple of years due to various lockdowns and amongst other things. How have you prepared them to sit an actual exam? Because previous years, they've all been teacher assessed.
I think this is a really good point you've made there, because this is more than just how they performed on the results day itself. This is the product of 5 years of being here in the school, and during that 5 years they've experienced closures, upheaval, staff absences, all kinds of terrible things which you wouldn't wish to happen to young people this age. And since we've reopened, as the pandemic has started to fade away, there's all sorts of things we've been doing in addition to what goes on in the regular classroom, if you like, to make the students feel, actually, do you know what, we want to be here every day because there are so many different things happening outside of the classroom. We don't want to miss any of this. And that gets the buy-in back up, the attendance goes back up, and we're seeing here today the attainment, ultimately, and their springboard to what they want to do next goes up. We've had etiquette coaching, we've had Commonwealth and Olympic sporting stars coming into the school to inspire students to try different things. There's all sorts of different ideas and incentives to make this place more than just a school.
Alison, on the outside, this looks like it's a beautiful building. It looks like, pretty regular school, but as Julian's just said there's been things that are going on inside the classroom that students might not find in other schools. Why was it that you decided to put on this sort of plethora of other sort of extracurricular activities for these children to do?
Well, the answer to that is very simple. It's because all of our staff work together in the very best interests of the students, and we have the very highest aspirations for them. If you come to our school, no matter what your background, we are aiming to give you the very, very best chances of success. And we've seen that in our results this year. As some examples, we are bucking the national trends. We have reduced our gap for disadvantaged students' achievement, reduced the gap in attainment for special educational needs students. Our boys are performing very, very highly. And this is all down to the teamwork of our staff and the multiple activities, the multiple strands of things that we provide for them. So in cultural capital, in personal development. And all of those pay off because ultimately they result in this really, really high achievement and buy-in to our school community.
And the headline this morning nationally is that pass rates have fallen, which was to be expected, but here it's actually a bit of a different picture. Julian here has given me some headlines of some incredible grades that these children have achieved, but to get them prepared for those obviously is the teachers. And I mentioned earlier that they in the previous years they've been teacher assessed. They've actually sat exams this year, but how has it been for the teachers themselves as well to get these kids up to the mark, to prepare them to sit these exams?
Our teachers are extremely committed, and that is reflected in the results we have seen. The students have put in so much work, and that is clear as well, but they can only have reached the points that they have with that dedication, that commitment and that expertise. All of our teachers here are so committed to getting the very, very best for their students. They offer revision, they offer support to families as well, and it's also important that we thank them, the parents, the grandparents, the aunties, the uncles, whoever it might be, that has supported those students. And it's also the case that a big thank you has to go out to our primary school colleagues, because although the students have achieved here after 5 years with us, they also needed that really solid foundation in primary school learning that has undoubtedly helped them as well.
Absolutely. It's a real journey going through education. Of course, Julian, the journey doesn't end here. They're now going out into the world of A-levels or whatever they decide to go on and do. What have previous alumni and students gone on to do from here, and what's on offer to them now?
This is a truly comprehensive school, And some of our former students, as you might imagine, will go off to some of the best universities in the UK. We know from our colleagues at Hereford Sixth Form College that a couple of our alumni this year are heading off to Oxford and Cardiff to study pharmacy, things like that. So, real fantastic achievements in the making there. Likewise, some of our students we know are very rooted in this local rural community, and they have ambitions to live and have prosperous lives here, perhaps working in the agricultural sector. Previously, they'd have to wait until 16 plus to experience some of that. Here, they get to do it while they're here in high school. We have farm placements, for example, so they can follow these aspirations here, now, while they're with us, rather than having to wait, which they really appreciate, and they can see the whole point of high school again.
Well, it sounds like there's some very exciting opportunities on the horizon here for the students. The envelopes, the white envelopes, are laid out on the table. Some have already gone. Students are already finding out. So hopefully I'll be bringing you lots of good news later on in the programme.
Brilliant. That's the main part, isn't it? Get those envelopes opened. Well, it sounds like a great school, doesn't it? It's the Earl Mortimer College and Sixth Form Centre in Leominster. That was our reporter Isabel Kimbry with the assistant principal Julian Warham and the principal Alison Banner. And have a listen to